ideas that I'm going to put out to you as a project would be something that's abstract, where you're really just looking through materials for colors, values, textures. You're not necessarily looking for images. Some images might work their way in a little bit, but it's not the intention of it, which will be helpful technique here is I've drawn with pencil some shapes that I want to get out of this. I like the solid red gradients in this page. I'm just using this page for color. Before I try to trim those shapes, always helpful, rather than trying to turn the scissors and get this shape right now, if I can just get in here, hack this piece out, and now this is much easier to turn and manipulate in my hands, and then I can start to cut out a creative shape out of it. As I add designs, one thing I'm focused on is to try to keep some similarity to the designs I use. I've got this organic kind of wavy form that I drew, but if I use it once, I should use it again. The more I can add some of these repetitive elements, the more unity I can bring to my composition. Another simple technique, similar to what I did with the wavy organic forms, is if I want to draw something out, in this case I have a lot of this orange. It doesn't necessarily matter where I cut. I'm going to aim for these background spaces. I can just turn this over. I can draw on this other side. I'm just going to take anything. I trace a roll of tape here, give myself a circle, and again cut those out, get some nicer circles to add into it. Really helpful part of collage, especially if you're working abstract, is just looking at things for textures and colors and values, and not necessarily for images. This is just a white. It has a subtle change to gray. It's not quite as pure white as a regular sheet of computer paper. All I want out of this is that color, and then I'm just going to think about kind of simple shapes. Got another piece of that had a little bit of a graphic on it. Some of these things will kind of anchor my composition together. Another technique here, if you want some repetition, found this piece of paper. It has nice gray gradient, pretty interesting values there. Took another sheet of it, happened to be on the next page. I can layer those together and cut my shape out and get replicas of them. You can always fold something to make a symmetrical design. So we'll do the layered one first. Should be able to get two that are identical to one another. Now for this idea of symmetry, and take this piece of paper, fold it down the middle. That will be my line of symmetry. And cut down this, whatever that form is. And now I can open it up and I get my symmetrical design. I could also cut it down that line of symmetry and split it if I wanted to. Collage gives you the freedom to pursue your composition. Because I'm not necessarily gluing anything down yet, I just have a variety of pieces. And so this idea of composition as the way we lay out or arrange or place elements in our artwork, I'm free to try out layouts. I have all these different things. It's kind of like a puzzle with no solution. I can come in here and just start placing things however I want, play around with the way it looks. So here's one layout, placed them in a certain way, and you can see where by limiting my color palette, working with just those warm reds, yellows, oranges, and neutrals, the wide range of grays. Look at this brownish gray in here. It keeps it all working together pretty well. Couple different shapes. I did this wavy organic shape, a few circles. I made this whole thing from 4 magazine pages, 5 magazine pages. By repeating elements, this straight line design shows up in this framing border, allows me to put together some form of composition, and I'm not committed to this. This is just one layout that I tried. I can then decide, do I like it, do I not like it? If I don't like it, move it around, try something else. I can get a rough idea for a layout, closing up the gap so I'm not seeing that. If I find one that I like, something that I like to do is take my cell phone and just snap a photo of it, so then I have a reference of what the layout was, because if I'm gonna glue this, I have to, push everything off anyways.